Hi everyone, it's Peter again. Last time, I told you about how the Yakuza boss tried to take my life, and let me go on the condition that I will give him $10 million in 10 months. Today, I'll show you how I got rejected for hundreds of jobs and ended up getting stuck in a dark alley with an evil-looking stranger who was carrying a sharp sword. Luckily, an Instagram message came to my rescue and saved my life while making me a millionaire. For those of you who like romance, this is also the beginning of my love story. But before I start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to show your support. I started my job hunt as soon as the Yakuza boss let me go. I went to various places asking for a job, but everyone refused. Why? Because I was a 14-year-old kid and they didn't think I was capable enough. Did I mention that I was kicked out of the part-time job I used to do? The owner found out about Yakuza and my dad. He didn't want to risk anything for himself, so he fired me. Just like this, I was rejected at 99 places. Yeah, I counted. And no, I'm not kidding. The 100th person I met for a job was a street vendor. He agreed to hire me as a full-time worker, but when we were discussing the salary, I kinda became desperate. "Please, give me $10 million in advance," I begged. "In return, I promise to work for you till I'm 100 years old." "Tell me you are joking," he said with a displeased expression on his face. "I'm not," I replied. "I really want to keep my fingers and my life." The next I know, I was kicked out of there. To be honest, I wasn't that disappointed. A street vendor couldn't have paid me $1 million a month anyway. I was just trying to convince myself, I guess. I returned home, totally depressed and dejected. Who in the world would give me that kind of money for a simple job? Not to mention, I was only 14 and not qualified for most jobs out there. My stomach started growling, and I remember that I hadn't eaten since I left home in the morning to look for jobs. I went to the kitchen and opened the fridge. It was empty. I was running out of food, money, and time. And an idea suddenly struck me. What if I took a flight back to the US and ran away from this whole mess? But again, it's not like I had the money to book the tickets. And even if I did manage it somehow, it was useless. The Yakuza had a strong presence around the world, and they would find me even if I buried myself 6 feet under. While I was worrying about jobs and money, I got a very mysterious text on Instagram. It was from Hannah, the daughter of the Yakuza boss. She wanted to meet me at a secret location. My first instinct was to refuse, but that would be a suicide mission. How could I say no to someone like her? But why did she want to meet me? Did her father finally decide to cancel the deal and end my life? My imagination took me to a very dark place. An image of Hannah striking me with her sword flashed in front of my eyes, and I shuddered in fear. I took deep breaths to clear my mind and agreed to meet her. It was my funeral either way. Might as well see what she wanted. She'd called me in a dark and shady alleyway. I was shivering from head to toe, and it was definitely not because of the chilly weather. Hannah arrived a few hours later. She was wearing a black robe and a mask was covering half of her face. I almost didn't recognize her, and thought that she was an assassin. I mean, the sword in her right hand was pretty scary on its own. But she pulled down her mask moments later to reveal an innocent and beautiful face. Such a contrast to her dark, evil appearance. She must have seen how pale my face was. "Sorry if I scared you," she apologized. "I can't have anyone recognizing me." "Why? Did you run away from home?" I joked nervously. "I did," she replied with a smile. "Just for tonight, because I needed to talk with you." Wait, what? Did that mean that she sneaked out just to meet me? So her father was not a part of this, and my story wasn't going to end in a dark alleyway? Oh, I didn't know how to feel about that. So why did you call me here?" I asked. It's pretty obvious. I want to help you, Peter, she replied. I jolted back in surprise. What? Help me? Yeah, as unbelievable as it sounds, I'm really here to help you, she assured. So, you can relax. I didn't get it. What was her deal? She was related to a man who was after my blood and my precious fingers. And now she wanted to help me? You look like you've seen a ghost, Hannah remarked. Don't you believe me? No. I mean, how? Why will you help me? I asked. Well, you can say that I see myself in you. If you think that life is unfair to you, then you should have been around to see what happened with me, she sighed. I will not waste your time by going into the details. I just want to let you know that I am the real boss, not my father. Okay, what? Now she was just confusing me. I mean, my father is still the leader and all, she continued, but I'm the one who does all the work in the background. I've been in the business since I was 10 years old. I'm only 16 now, but I've learned and seen everything there is to see. I strike deals for my dad and bring him all the wealth and power. He's just an old fool who wastes his money on drinking and useless luxury. Whoa, was she really talking crap about her father right now? Was I supposed to agree with her or tell her that she was doing great? What if this was a trap to lure me into saying bad things about the Yakuza boss? More importantly, should I be recording the conversation? I bet such a piece of valuable recording would fetch me more than $10 million. But, hey, the moment I leaked the recording, I would probably be saying goodbye to the world. So, no, I couldn't record. I decided to give Hannah the benefit of doubt and focus on her offer. I know you've been unable to find jobs, she said. And even if you do find one, it will be useless. But what if I offer you a job and pay you $1 million every month in salary? What? Working for such a pretty girl and getting $1 million for it? Was this for real? What's the catch? I asked cautiously. There's no catch, she smiled. As I said, I feel bad for you. You were wronged by your parents. I know how it feels to be abandoned, to crave love and affection. And I know what happened to you was unfair. You really don't deserve this. Unfortunately, I can't convince my dad to let go of you. But hey, I can always help you. So, are you in? Okay, so I needed to think this through carefully. A very pretty girl who I might have a slight crush on was offering me $1 million job, and there was no catch to it. Her reason was that she sympathized with my predicament, and this was her way of helping. Sounds unreal at first, but the more I thought about it, the more I became convinced that Hannah was a genuine person. I mean, why would she risk coming out to meet me and help me like this, even though this could potentially get her in trouble with her dad? She had a lot at stake. I'll be honest, she suddenly said, breaking my thoughts. I really think that you're quite capable. I want you to work for me so that your talent doesn't go to waste. Money isn't really a big factor. I have a lot lying around. I can easily spare $1 million a month. It won't even put a dent in my bank account. The audacity! Did she realize that I was broke? Why was she rubbing her wealth on my face? Ugh. Way to make me feel even more pathetic. But, yeah, she was right. I was in no position to refuse her or have a second thought. If I rejected her offer, I had nowhere to go. So, better take a risk and see where it goes than just hopelessly wait for 1 month to end and let my finger be chopped off. Okay, one last question. What kind of job is it? I asked. What are you good at? I guess math? I replied unsurely. Then I have the perfect job for you, she smirked. I hope it doesn't involve counting chopped off fingers, I laughed nervously. Of course not, she smiled. I won't make you do anything you don't like. I already have a lot of men for all the dirty work. You were made for greater things. So, I take it as a yes from your side? I released a breath and nodded. Thank you. I will never forget this favor.